pretty good. Okay, as you can see, pure gypsy singing because it has this very strong compa. Now we're going to hear something very different, Malagueña, sung by my very dear friend Enrique Morente, again when he was much younger. This recording is probably 1972-73, accompanied by Pepe Arichuela. Very, very nice Malagueña. Here, again, here you will see that Enrique sings, it's free, it's open, no compa, and Pepe follows him on the guitar. Yeah? This is the Malagueña de Antonio Chacón. Comparing that to the previous one, or to Dolores Agujetas in Soleá, you can see that they are two completely different phenomena, but they come together to create something both we would consider flamenco today, but they're still different. In fact, the difference, the gypsies still conserve their pure cante to some extent, and it is still very difficult for a non-gypsy to enter their little world, to listen to it. What you see on the stage normally is not what they sing. It's not what Camarón de la Isla was singing with his mother in his mother's home. It's obviously it's a show. It's a spectacle, and it's treated as such, and it's presented as such. So it's very, very difficult to see serious flamenco on stage, or indeed even on the television. This difference became very accentuated in the 1920s, 30s and 40s, and eventually ended, we've seen the Café Cantante period, we've seen the Ópera Flamenco period. Then we come in 1950, 1960 to what I personally call the era of the Cante de la Gasolinera, because if you remember, when you stopped at the gasolinera, and if you had 5 minutes, you looked at what was the cassettes, and invariably the flamenco was all Rafael Farina, Juanito Valderrama. That was what flamenco had become. Nothing compared to what Dolores was singing about, obviously. Okay, but having said that, oh, by the way, this is Diego Tenaza, the winner of the Concurso Nacional de cante hondo. Okay, now, the situation was getting pretty desperate until, interestingly, in 1954, some French people, some people who had a recording company in France, Ducarte Thompson, heard real cante flamenco. And they thought, wow, that needs to be conserved. So they got a guitarist, this man's father, Federico de Luna, who was he had a great knowledge of flamenco. And they said, organize an antología del cante flamenco. And in 1954, this was published. And it was very important because it was the first serious attempt to put on record real flamenco. And it was very encyclopedic. It had a lot of gypsy songs. It also had rondeñas and malagueñas and everything. 3-record set. Still available. Today it's published by Hispavox. It's called the Antología del Cante Flamenco, and it's very recommendable. Fortunately, while all of this was going on, during the period of the Cante de la Gasolinera, as I call it, there were a few places, a few establishments, especially in Madrid, that presented pretty good flamenco on stage. And here we have Torres Bermeja, which is where Camarón started his professional career. Los Canaceros in Madrid, this is Manolo Caracol, accompanied by Melchor de Marchena. And here, what was undoubtedly the best tablao in Spain, Zambra in Madrid. Here we can see Rosa Duran with my very good friend Rafael Romero, Enrique Morente when he was very young, and Perico de Lunar. This place it became a temple, it became Mecca. Unfortunately it closed in 1975, I believe. Well, we're nearly at an end. We simply have to mention one gentleman who is fundamental to the history of the cante. Not that gentleman. This one. Don Antonio Mairena, Antonio Cruz Garcia from Mairena del Alcor. Certainly the most important singer of the 20th century, along with Manuel Torre. He learned his singing as a young man from people like Joaquín de la Paula and Juan Talega. He knew them all personally, and he took a great interest in conserving real flamenco. You can see him here holding the llave de oro del cante flamenco, which in fact means nothing. It has no importance at all. There have been 5 llaves de oro. The first was given to Tomás Mitri, not for winning any competition or for anything in particular. It was given to him by a group of his friends one evening who got together for a few glasses of wine and said, Tomás, you're the best singer in the world. Have the llave de oro. In 1926, the second golden key of the country was given to Manolo, what's his name? I don't remember his name. The third was given to Antonio. The fourth was given to Camarón de la Isla. And now, today, it's held by Foforito, who's from Córdoba. Deservedly or not, that's a personal issue. Antonio, we can say, certainly deserved the llave de oro because he conserved serious flamenco. And if you want to listen to really good cante flamenco, go onto YouTube and just look for Antonio Mairena and listen to anything. It's all incredible. He also did a fantastic recording in 1967 called La Gran Historia del Cante Gitano Andaluz, which I bought. I was for 5 days without eating. It's the only time in my life I've been truly hungry. I was on holiday here in Spain, I had very little money. And this record, I saw this record, and I spent everything on this record. Fortunately, I had a cartón de ducados, but nothing else. And I was for 5 days without eating. I would not recommend the experience. He has been fundamental in the history of flamenco. And we now go on to another gentleman who you all know, Camarón. Is Camarón really that important? Friends of mine, good aficionados, they ask me, what do you think, was Camarón a genius or a clown? And I say, well, 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. Camarón, as we saw before, knew very good cante. And when he was young, he was an incredible cantor. Unfortunately, he started to do things with Tomatito and other people and got involved in creation of new ideas. In fact, I think that Camarón has been very important, but more as a social phenomenon than as a cantor. In fact, his position in the world reminds me very much of this gentleman, Bob Marley. Bob Marley in Jamaica is God. There are temples to Bob Marley in Jamaica, and in San Fernando de la Isla, there are temples to Camarón. To the gypsies, he is God. He's the Prophet Muhammad. He's everything. So they don't judge his country, they judge him as a gypsy and as a phenomenon. And certainly he has been very, very important. And really, if we go on to the last one, that brings us practically back to where we started. Flamenco. The gypsies originally from India. This could easily be mistaken for somebody dancing Borrelias. Also, obviously, in Andalusian music, very strong influences from the Maghreb. After all, the gypsies were here, well, the Maghrebias were here for 7 centuries. And if you listen to I can't remember what it's called, the call to prayer, Allahu Akbar, and then they launch into it's a martinete, it's identical. Then popular Andalusian culture, La Feria. And here, Spanish gypsies. This photograph was taken in Morón de la Frontera. I know most of these people. This is Manolito de la Maria, very important also. He lived in a cave. I went there and had a glass of wine with him. Very, very interesting. Lovely man. So, we get back to where we are now. And the situation really hasn't changed that much. Although the 2 types of song have come together to create this miracle, which is flamenco, which I consider to be certainly your most important contribution to the world's culture. I think it's up there with jazz. The greatest contribution that North America has made, at least in musical terms, is jazz. And I think that the cante flamenco is equally important, and you can be very proud of it, and should be. Unfortunately, sometimes people in Spain really pay little attention to it, which is a pity. It's very important. And we have the same situation today as we've had throughout all these different periods. There are people out there singing very serious flamenco, especially in Cadiz. Apart from Dolores, there's one woman, if you go onto YouTube, Tia Juana la del Pipa. She's incredible. And at the same time we have the usual flamenco for giddies like me, and cabarets and so on. But there are important people out there talking about, of course, flamenco is an art. And as such, it's universal. We said before that it was some French gentlemen who decided to record the Antología del Cante Flamenco. In the same way, I don't know if any of you have seen a fantastic film by Wim Wenders called Buena Vista Social Club.
Yes.
No, it's beautiful. And it's about an American jazz guitarist, Ray Kuda, who rescues the son cubano. He gets all a load of old people who no longer worked, and he got them together and made this film about their music, and it's beautiful, fantastic. Buena Vista Social Club, if you see it in a video club, get it. Also, the blues in the United States had practically disappeared, and it was a group of English singers, bluesmen, who took it back to the United States. John Mayall, even the Rolling Stones, when they started. And, as art is universal, we're going to finish with 1 minute of something which I consider to be very interesting. This is por Julius. Listen to this go.
Así nomás. Va. Y todo.
Interesting thing about that young lady is that her name is Yuka Sato. She's Japanese. It must have taken a lot of work and study to do that, because it's not, Cante Flamenco is not particularly similar to Japanese culture. And I thought it was very interesting to see that. So, again, as we did when we were talking about our friend Jack the Ripper, well, not our friend, I would be delighted to answer any questions that you might have about what we've been talking about this afternoon.
Well, first of all, I think you deserve a big round of applause. Break, so we're going to rearrange the chairs so we are in a circle and we can have a session as we had the last time John was here, okay? So we're having 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes break. Al baño.